Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, y'all, let's check this out. You don't want to be harsh on anybody because boxers are good athletes. You know what I'm saying, and they're very courageous. You know what I'm saying. Everybody ain't trying to get in the ring, knock somebody else's head off. And yours can get knocked off too. So let's make sure we lead with that. But you have boxers that are elite. We got boxers that are elite for real. We have boxers that people call elite and they're not. We have boxers that people know that they're not elite and call elite. And we have something that's mystical pound for pound list. And when you have that, you're in that top 10 pound for pound list, then you're the elite of the elite. And so the expectations of you, raise, in that particular time. So Teofimo Lopez is one of those who has entered the top pound for pound, top 10 pound for pound a time or two. And, he's considered to be one of the better fighters we got, one of the best, actually. But I beg to differ, right? I beg to differ. And it's because of, his resume and what he's done up until now. And there's not too much distance in a lot of his fights of late. He's still good. I used to be a fan of this guy, actually, but now not really. But a lot of stuff he says, kind of, rubs me the wrong ways. But I still want to be objective about the guy. Teofimo Lopez is somebody who's kind of exciting. You want to watch, and I like the fact that if he beats you up, he's going to flip on you. I used to like that. You know what I'm saying? But if he's going to be considered one of the elites, he's been in that top 10 pound for pound a time or two, then you're going to have distance in your fights, right? You're going to have to beat some people with distance there, a la the other ones that are there. There's, not too many people, they're not going to have too many close fights, if they're not somebody who's just people that's just ignoring that they have close fights or ignoring the fact that they won't fight anybody that has a 50-50 chance. But we're going to try to leave those out of this video. The point is, Teofimo Lopez, his last fight with Jermaine Ortiz, he arguably lost that fight. Right, and I'm just saying arguably. I've scored it. He lost it as far as I'm concerned, but you can bet arguably for the rest of you guys. The one before that, Sandor Martin, he arguably lost that fight. And y'all say that I scored that when he lost because I was 2 knockdowns in that fight of Teofimo Lopez. Most of the elite guys don't get knocked down too much. So and then we know he lost to Kambosos as well, right? And so this guy here that he's fighting, that he fought, who he beat, Claggett, Steve Claggett. We talked about it. Nobody really got with me on that. But at the end of the day, Steve Claggett had 7 losses, right? 2 draws. He's knocked out 1 time. But I don't really care about if he got knocked out 1 time because, damn it, he's proved against Teofimo Lopez that he can take a shot. So sometimes you're going to get knocked out. But that still don't mean if you got a chin or not. I'm going to just say it without having watched all his fights that he got a chin. Because he stood in the pocket, came at Teofimo Lopez, made Teofimo Lopez be on the back foot, and took some stuff. So, props to Steve Claggett on this, right now. But at the end of the day, he has 7 losses and 2 draws. Now, anybody in that elite category gets to fight anybody with 7 losses, 2 draws? Who else? Go through it in your head. Who else would you accept them to have a fight like that? Especially when in their division, like if your division's cleaned out and there's nothing for you to do until somebody else crystallizes themselves as a worthy opponent, that's different. But that is not the case with Teofimo Lopez at 140. There's a whole lot of stuff he could do. A whole lot of stuff. I don't need to mention names of Reese Prograis, Devin Haney, but right now, but he could have did that before. And who else? It's a whole lot of stuff he could do there, and people would come up to fight him. Javante Davis would have come up to fight him. Shakur Stevens would come up wanting to fight him. He could readdress Kambosos. He could readdress Jermaine Ortiz. He could readdress Sandor Martin. There's so many things to do instead of fighting Steve Claggett, right? And, seeing as though Josh Taylor, who he beat, right? He beat Josh Taylor. But if it wasn't him who had fought Josh Taylor, one of these guys, let's say that one of the Negro League fighters that y'all don't like, for example, if they would have fought Josh Taylor and beat him, what would you have said? Oh, Josh Taylor was losing, lost his last fight against Catterall, right? He lost his last fight against Catterall, and he can't make 140, so he's not really, he's not really fit if he's fighting at 140. He should move up to 147. He's weak at 140. Those kind of things. That's the same guy that your boy Teofimo Lopez fought, right? That Josh Taylor, not the one that won that Super 6 tournament, WBSS tournament. Got to give Josh Taylor props for becoming undisputed. Anybody that's become undisputed, I don't really care. You became undisputed and y'all didn't. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he's going to get props for that. So I would like to give your boy Teofimo Lopez props for beating Josh Taylor. But he fought Josh Taylor instead of Pro Grays. It's a long story, but that's what he did. So at the end of the day, Teofimo Lopez is good and all that. But all those fighters that are up in the upper echelon don't get to fight a guy with 7 losses and 2 draws. If so, name them. Don't just come in here and get upset at me. Name them. These top, pound for pound guys. Let's start at Terrence Crawford. Like hell to the no. Usyk, hell to the no. Inoue, like don't even try it. Bivol, I'm talking about my guys. Bivol, like don't even think about it. Since we up at light heavyweight, better Biv, does he get to do that? Right? So there's 5 guys right there. You know what I'm saying? Is there somebody I'm missing? Because I ain't mentioning Canelo, because Canelo might be able to get away with it. If somebody would find an excuse for him to get away with it, I at least leave him out of there, because he gets this kind of treatment that ain't really right for the rest of them. But the other guys that are supposed to be good don't get away with fighting somebody 7 losses. Like even somebody Canelo won't fight. Let's fight Benavidez. Does he get to fight somebody that got that many losses? Any of these champions out here, it's just not the way it is. So therefore, Teofimo Lopez, not either. A Shakur Stevenson, would he be able to fight somebody like that? Gervonta Davis, who is kind of low on my top 10 pound for pound, but you got to put him in there. He ain't going to be able to fight somebody with no damn 7 losses. You see what I'm saying? Who? So there's the point. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, no, Teofimo Lopez going tooth and nail with the guy. Teofimo Lopez won the fight, ain't no doubt about it. But Teofimo Lopez, do you know something? I didn't want to say this, but I'm just not. Why not? Me watching the fight, he got hit way too many times for this guy. Just forget the offense for a second. How do you get hit that much from this guy who's coming straight up? Like most of the elite fighters say, no special effects. I'm putting my hands up and I'm coming at you, throwing punches. Although Claggett throws a lot of them, don't get it twisted. You could probably dodge 2, but that third one gonna hit you. A la, what's my fat Mexican guy, Andy Ruiz, he'll do it too. You might make the first 2, but the third one gonna hit you. But you got hit way too many times. Way too many times. Bottom line here with Teofimo Lopez is bye-bye elite conversation, right? For a while. Let's get that back together before we start talking about him with elite conversation, right? He's a good fighter, but great fighter, no. Let's do some proving again, right? Because I can't put Teofimo Lopez up by the guys I just named. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't go through all of them. People going to start giving Bam Bam Rodriguez some more props than him in a minute, because Bam Bam took care of your boy Estrada. So, it's going to be a lot of people in that top 10. Your boy T.O. has got nothing to do. He's supposed to be looking at that through a telescope at the top 10. Y'all agree? Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm about to hear y'all.